This is how I meal prep for fat loss in under 2 hours for the entire week, and I still hit my protein goal every single day. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's actually 4 p.m. and we're about to lock in and get our meal prep just prepared for the week. This right here might be the most important aspect of your cut journey, of your fat loss journey, okay? If you are not on point with your meals, you're not going to lose fat. Like, point blank period, okay? So we gotta get this under control. And I'm hoping I can help you guys as much as possible in this video, understand every aspect of it, how to meal prep, and hopefully give you guys some confidence too, because I feel like so many people get overwhelmed when it comes to meal prepping. They're like, how? Like, how do I meal prep all this food for the week? How do I know it's actually helping me, reach my goals as well? Am I prepping the right thing? Am I eating the right thing? So I'm hoping I can answer all those questions for you guys and show you guys how I do it. I've literally been meal prepping for like 7 years now, pretty consistently. Yes, there have been a few weekends I've missed. But the thing is though, even like, let's say I have like a 3-day weekend and I go on a trip and I come back from a trip and I missed the weekend, I didn't meal prep over the weekend, whatever. Pretty much as soon as I get home, I'm meal prepping, because I'll try to go a day without my meal prep after I get home, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is real ghetto. For real. I'm like, I cannot do this. I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, I don't know how women cook dinner every single night. Obviously, if you have kids, I get it. Sometimes you have to, right? I do not have kids. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know how that is, because I know that that's hard. But it takes a lot of time. I'm sure you guys can agree. Like, having to cook dinner every single night, especially after work, you're tired, you got stuff around the house to pick up, like, oh, it is just an added 1 to 2 hours of cooking that is just draining, you know what I mean? So if I can just put all of that into 1 day a week, it's well worth it to me. It's well worth it, because then I have all my meals ready to go. The rest of my week is so much easier. Literally, it saves me time during the week. It makes me more efficient during the week. And then it also helps me reach my goals, And also it saves money. I've had so many women come to me and they're like eating out all the time just because they didn't, they don't meal prep. And I'm trying to convince them, and I'm trying to convince you too, like, if that's you, you are going to save a lot of money if you start meal prepping. Because eating out adds up like that. Like, it really, really does, okay? Everything that you buy, pretty much, like Starbucks, drive-thrus, Chipotle, whatever it is, like, is going to be more expensive than if you just buy food in bulk and meal prep it. So you might think, because when you buy groceries, you're looking at the number of the groceries, right? Like, how much it is when you're buying in bulk, and you're like, oh dang, that's a lot. Like, maybe it's like, let's say the family, you're spending like, I don't know, $400, whatever it is. And you're like, dang, that's a lot of money. Yes, it looks like it at the time, but if you start actually budgeting, writing it down, versus writing down how much you're spending right now eating out all the time every week, it's way less, way less. You will save hundreds of dollars a month, literally, okay? So it's more time efficient for your week. It is better for your goals, and it's better for your budget and your bank. So what's the point, What's the reason that you're not doing it? Let's make it happen. So anyways, we're about to get into it. That was my little meal prep rant, motivation rant, and now I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to get it done. First, I'm gonna make a cold brew because your girl needs to pick me up, and then we'll get into exactly how I meal prep and how I do it efficiently and without spending all day in the kitchen. All right, guys, so it's a little bit of time later. I got my coffee, and I actually had to do some dishes so that I had everything I needed to meal prep. So I did that. It is now a little later. It's actually an hour later because I was doing other stuff as well. So I got sidetracked, but I'm actually gonna time it to show you guys, all right, you guys. So I wanted to show you guys everything laid out. Step one is you need to know what you're gonna be cooking, right? And you also need to put some thought into it. Not a lot, but just think about your meals in terms of your goals, your macros. Obviously, number one, we want the meals to be high protein, right? And then number two, we obviously wanna have, a carb source. And I want you guys to think basically in terms of like protein, vegetables, carbs, right? And then, most likely you're gonna have like a starch in there, like rice or like a base, basically, like rice, potato, something like that, right? So that is how I think of my meals. This is like the lunch and dinner meals that I'm gonna be prepping. I'm also gonna be prepping breakfast today, which I will show you guys next. But another big trick is you wanna start by prepping this stuff because it's gonna take the longest. So once this is cooking, I will be prepping the breakfast stuff. You wanna start by putting the thing that's gonna take the longest in the oven or whatever you're using to cook it first, and then go down, you know, from there. So let me show you guys my meals. This one is one of my go-tos. So chicken thighs, I'm a big fan of chicken thighs instead of chicken breast because chicken thighs just taste better. They have more flavor, and it's honestly like the same thing. You don't need to eat chicken breast. I wanna make sure I put that out there. These are way more flavorful, not as like dry when you're meal prepping and eating them the next day throughout the week, right? So I highly recommend that. I am basically making like Mexican style chicken, lime, cilantro style chicken. That's like one of my go-tos. If you watch my content, you know, like I love some tacos. So whenever I have this type of chicken prepped in the fridge, like I will eat it, and it's such an easy way for me to get my protein in. So yeah, this is gonna have some cilantro. I always use some Rotel. I might use 2 of these. And then I'm gonna put some garlic. I like to chop up some fresh onion as well. And then I'll have some taco seasoning. So very simple. And then I'm gonna throw that in the crock pot. That'll be cooking on low while I do everything else. The second meal, I'm gonna be making ground turkey pasta, okay? I'm using regular pasta. I did use a high protein pasta in my last meal prep video or whatever, but it was extremely high calorie, and I don't know why I was thinking it was gonna be lower calorie and it wasn't. So I'm just gonna stick with the regular one for now. Penne pasta. I'm gonna add in some zucchini, maybe some broccoli as well. So it'll be like a vegetable style pasta. And then I'm also gonna add in some mushrooms, okay? Very easy to make, straightforward. I'm gonna portion out the protein so that I'm making sure that each one I'm eating, my meal prep, is high protein. And then next, I have another meal. I actually already made some chicken yesterday, so I'm just gonna use this as well. And it's like garlic style chicken, basic. And then I'm also gonna have it with some sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna prep these. And then I'm gonna have probably some more vegetables, zucchinis or something like that in that meal prep container as well. So that's 3 lunch and dinner meals. Remember, this is gonna be for me and my husband, not just myself. So I do wanna make a lot and give us some variety. All right, guys, so next up we have our breakfast meals. So really quick, very simple, I'm just doing 2. Honestly, this is probably gonna be for my husband. This is gonna be egg bites. I'm pretty much gonna use a whole thing of eggs. So what is this, 12 eggs, right? Oh, there's 18 eggs. Okay, maybe not 18. I think I only need 12. So 12 eggs. And then what I do is I cook these first, like a little bit at least because they're frozen. I put them in the air fryer or whatever. And then I chop up these sausages. Some of these are already gone, okay? But I chop these sausages up in little pieces, and then I will put them in like little, like what is it, the muffin tin container, and make individual egg bites, and he can take them with him on the road. Very convenient. I love them too, but this is pretty much just gonna be for him. And then I'm gonna have overnight oats this week. So you have seen me make this exact recipe. I'm making strawberry cheesecake overnight oats. I use Legion protein. I'm actually out of vanilla. So yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize that. But this one I feel like won't taste bad. It's cinnamon cereal. It's basically just cinnamon protein. It's really, really good. I add cinnamon to everything anyway, so I don't think it's gonna taste too different. So yeah, this will be in there. Obviously got the oats, the high protein yogurt, Greek yogurt, almond milk, the strawberries, graham crackers, everything. You guys will see it all as well. But these are my 2 breakfast meals. Very high protein, both of them. So now that I've shown you guys my meals, we're gonna get to prepping. And like I said, you wanna start with what's gonna take the longest. So the first thing I'm gonna do is wash that chicken, okay? And we're gonna put that in the crock pot so that it can cook on low while I'm cooking everything else. And then we will basically go from there. So let's get to it. All right, so I just washed the chicken. I'm about to cut up the vegetables and then add it to the crock pot, all the seasonings, everything. And let me start my timer because I did not start it yet. We're about to do 2 hours, like I said, under 2 hours. And this is for a lot of meals. This is like 5 meals total, okay? 3 lunch and dinners and 2 breakfast meals. So this is not no like half-assed meal prep. This is full-on meal prep. All right, so here we go. Start timer for 2 hours. Cheers. All right, you guys, so as you can see, we was working, okay? We are now at 1 hour and 10 minutes, okay, on the timer. So yeah, I was working. I forgot to cook these or saute these mushrooms beforehand. So I'm just doing this really quick, and that's obviously gonna go in the pasta, but the pasta's done. The meat, all the meat is actually, well, cooking or done. The ground turkey's done. And the rice just went off right now, so that's done. This, the air fryer with the veggies, I do need to put it back in, which I already knew that was gonna happen. It does take a while because they're frozen, but that's fine. So I'm gonna hit that again, put it back in there. So pretty much while the veggies are cooking, I'm gonna start portioning out some of the meals, especially for pasta, because I am tracking my calories and my macros. I need to portion out the pasta first and see how much, how many calories the pasta alone is before I add the sauce and everything else, get that ready and, ready to go, MyFitnessPal. And then that way I can add everything else, like the sauce, the veggies, and all of it. For my husband, he don't care. He's not tracking anything. So once I'm done portioning mine out, I'm just gonna combine all the pasta items so he has his pasta stuff ready, right? Yeah, I did make more rice, which I didn't really mention this when I was breaking down the meals I was gonna make. I do have a little bit of rice left over in the fridge already, but I wanted to make a little bit more. That's gonna be a base for my chicken that I also had made. So it'll be the chicken, rice, and a veggie meal, basically. It's going to be the pasta, and then it's also going to be that Mexican style chicken. The Mexican style chicken can also be, ate with the rice. So it's probably going to be like a Mexican bowl type of thing. Well, I'll have the option of that. So it'll be like rice, black beans, that chicken, and then I can just top it with like maybe avocado or the Herdez sauce that you guys see me use, the guacamole salsa. So yeah, that's how it's going. It's going good though. I think that we are making pretty good time, especially considering that I'm filming. I'll be honest, the filming is adding time. So this would be going quicker if I was not recording for you guys, obviously. So I want to make sure you guys understand that, because this should be even faster for you, okay? But let's get back to it. I'm gonna finish the veggies and then I'll start portioning out my pasta. All right, guys, so now I am getting into weighing out my food, and I figured I'd do a voiceover so I can explain how to weigh your food and track it in MyFitnessPal. So it's honestly very simple. The biggest thing is just learning how to track your food. So you can see here, first off, I am making a meal in MyFitnessPal. So I'm naming the meal and I am adding the ingredients. So here I am searching for the ground turkey itself. And then next I'm searching for the penne pasta. The biggest thing, especially with, pasta and things like that, is you want to see how much you actually should be adding to each container to hit your overall macro goals per meal, before you add it to the container, right? So for instance, I'm finding this pasta and then I'm gonna see, okay, how much, how many calories is 180 grams, should I do more than that or less than that, right? See, 1 gram of pasta is 4 calories. So here I've already decided how much I'm gonna put in. I hit that 159 grams of pasta, and that is what I'm deciding that's gonna be in each meal, right? So then here I am putting 160 grams actually in the recipe, and I'm saving that to the meal itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Another big important thing is you want to make sure that you are pressing that clear button every single time you put the meal back on and you're adding a new ingredient. So that way it is zeroed out before you're adding anything else so that you can weigh them separately. So now I'm putting in the ground turkey, and my goal for ground turkey is 5 ounces each. So 5 ounces, and see, that's logged, it's added to the meal. And then each of my meal prep containers has 5 ounces of ground turkey and 160 grams of cooked penne pasta. I also did add the mushrooms, which I weighed out. You can see me adding them right here. I believe, what was that? 23 grams. So 23 grams of mushrooms per container. So that's literally it. You're just adding each individual item that you're using in each meal, right, to your MyFitnessPal meal. And then that way everything is literally pre-logged, ready to go throughout the week. All you have to do is add the meal that you're eating that's already saved in MyFitnessPal every day that you're eating it. So extremely helpful. This takes so much thought out of it. And yes, it's, more work up front, but it saves you stress during the week, and you're on track, you're reaching your goals, and you're gonna lose fat, right? So I think that's a win-win. Also, I'll just say this, pasta like this is probably one of the most annoying things to track because it does have a lot of different ingredients, especially the way that I'm making it. It doesn't have to be this hard. You guys can start with very simple meals, like the meal that I was explaining in the beginning of the video, just chicken, sweet potatoes, and a veggie, right? That's very simple, easy to track, not hard. So if you want to start with more simple meals and then maybe work your way in to more complex meals, I think that's also a good place to start. All right, you guys, so at the 53-minute mark, and we are doing real well. We got the pasta done. It's put in the containers already. I did mix the rest of it for my husband, and then I just made some broccoli, which is gonna be another side that I just have on hand for the week. So I'm about to put that in just a general container. I'm making sweet potatoes as well, which is gonna be a side. So I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna have different options. I'm gonna have a dish or a meal prep container with broccoli, sweet potatoes, and chicken, or if I want to do rice, broccoli, and chicken, you know what I'm saying? I'll have options and be able to switch it up. The chicken that's in the crock pot should be done any minute. The crock pot does take a little longer. I did put it on high though, so hopefully in the next 20 minutes it'll be done. And I'm about to start on the breakfast meals right now. So I just decided that now that I have the air fryer again and I'm done with that broccoli, I'm gonna dump these sweet potatoes in here just because it's a lot quicker than making it on the stovetop. And then they also they just come out a little more crispy, roasted versus being see how moisturized they are, just because they are frozen. So the water's melting and they're they're too moist. I want them to be a little crispier. So I'm about to put those in there, air fry them. And I'm also gonna preheat the oven so that I can get ready for the egg bites. All right, guys, so now we are about to prep the stuff for the egg bites. I had to take a break and eat some of the pasta that I just made just because I was starving. But now we're back here. I'm about to put the timer back on, hold on. 50 minutes left, basically. And I'm going to just chop these little sausages up. I already have the frozen veggies, the bell peppers and onion mix, cooking, because basically when I put this and the veggies in the egg mix, it's not gonna cook long enough to actually cook the sausage. So I do need to put these on the stovetop and pre-cook them before I put them in the oven with the egg bites, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna chop these up really quick, and then I will put it all together. Remember, this is for my husband, so I'm not really tracking this. I'm just gonna chop it up, throw it in there, and then I'm gonna get to the overnight oats, which I will be tracking. right, you guys, so as you can see, I am done finally. It definitely did take me longer than 2 hours, but only because I kept stopping. First of all, my camera kept overheating, my battery died like 3 or 4 times, and I was hungry, so I did like pause it multiple times. But also the filming in general just added so much time. But 2 hours for sure. Like I think under 2 hours, honestly, like I think an hour 45 minutes straight is really what it took me. And as you can see, I got all my meals right here on this side. This is for my husband. He actually has even more. It's not in this clip right here. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I tracked everything, which you guys saw, and this is gonna help me reach my goals throughout the week. It took, like I said, realistically an hour and 45 minutes, which I think is very worth it. I have my meals for the entire week. Technically, I have 9 lunch and dinner meals. So obviously I'm one short, but I actually have leftover chicken, and I like to have like just chicken on hand to do whatever I want with it. So I could have like, for instance, tacos, like chicken tacos with that food. Or I could have really anything. Like, you know what I mean? So just having extra chicken sometimes is cool, because then you can throw it in there and switch it up, and if you get bored of your meal prep, that sort of thing. So yeah. What else? Oh, the egg, the egg bites that I made my husband. I poured way too much of the egg in there, which I already knew. I had a feeling it was gonna overflow, but it like really overflowed. Like, I'll just show you guys. It don't look cute. You guys can see they've actually been sitting for a while, but you can tell this overflowed. It does not look aesthetic, which is why I didn't include it in the shot. But he will still be eating these. I'm just gonna cut them in half so that way he gets the most out of it. So yeah, I hope that this motivated you and also kind of helped you understand how to track while you're meal prepping, right? Because everything is literally done for me now. So throughout the week, all I gotta do is go to my meal list, add the meal that I'm eating, and then it's logged and ready to go. Nova, really, girl? Really? Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions about anything. I'll also drop a link below in the description and in the comments if you guys want to download my free high protein cheat sheet. Okay, it's really important to just understand like portions when it comes to trying to reach your goals. If you know how many ounces you might need in like chicken or beef or ground turkey or whatever to help you reach your goals by the end of the day, like that will make a big difference when it comes to planning your meals, you know, and really help you stay on track with your protein and reach your goals. Um, yeah, each of these meals, as you can see, is 40 grams of protein at least. And that right there puts me at 120 grams of protein for the day, right? Without anything on top of that. My goal for protein is like 160 grams. So basically, I got 40 grams on top of that to hit. I always drink a protein shake which is another 22 grams of protein at least, right? And then I usually like some snacks in between there. So that's me hitting my goal. And honestly, 40 grams of protein was being like that's like minimum. I would say most of these are actually over that. So we're getting a lot closer to that like 130 mark, I would say 140 mark. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.